Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this recap video I'm going to take you through the positions that we have right now going into, for some people, what's a long weekend. So if you're not a member of Simpler Futures yet, you can check it out at simplerfutures.com. Actually, you know what is the URL? simplerfutures.com. I think it's /memberships, and you can find out more about what we're doing here. And the reason I'm mentioning that is I will be in the chat room on Monday. I don't take days off. I mean, I've been a Forex trader since 1999, and 4th of July is very much a U.S. phenomenon, but you've got the markets open to a certain degree, and so I want to make sure you guys know that I'll be in the room. So check that out. Yeah, it's simplerfutures.com/memberships. All right, enough of that. Let's take a look at what's going on in the markets. I am long Nikkei. I am going to take this into the weekend. So I'm going to be hopping on an airplane here in about, I'm heading to the airport in about an hour or so, hour and a half. So it's 1:30 Central at the moment. So the markets haven't closed. I will have my phone on me, so if for whatever reason there was some crazy meltdown into the last trading day of the month and the quarter, I might manually go ahead and exit those trades. I enter probably close to 80% of my trades on the phone anymore. So anyway, just letting you guys know, that's what technology has done for us. I can track my trades on tradingview.com. I can enter my trades on my phone. So the mobile trading lifestyle is here. And I've heard the new iPhone, the new Apple iPhone, the iPhone 8 is going to be bigger than the iPhone 7, and it's going to be the screen's going to take up the whole face of the phone, which is going to be really interesting. All right, so I have a fresh position in crude oil that has triggered today at 45.75. I'm looking for exhaustion in this area here, so you know, I would just assume this market stay below 46. I realize that it's gotten above that level, so I'll be looking for a rollover here. I would love to see that go into the close, but as long as we stay below the top line of the wave and the 47 handle, I'm fine with the movement that we're seeing right now. So I have a fresh short in crude. All right, I also have that short in coffee. We talked about that the other day. But let me mention something. I no longer have the short in soybeans. We had 3 previous shorts of 944 in soybeans. We had the 931.5 trade, and I'm out at 930. As you can see here, I'm sorry, not 930, 948. So 948 and a quarter, actually, I'm out. So actually, no, I'm sorry, 938, 948 and an eighth. I had way too much caffeine today. All right, so I'm out at the top line of the wave. All right, right here. So this trade is closed. Now, the way in which it moves looks so scary, but the bottom line is it was a swing short, and now it got stopped out. Am I bummed about it? Look, gang, this was a 6.5 point loss. It's $350 per contract. I was willing to risk that going into the crop report, and it's actually a pretty minimal amount to risk considering the kind of event we were dealing with. And that is it for soybeans. I'm not jumping back in today. If I do so, it'll be next week. And if you're joining me in the chat room, you can see if anything manifests with the exhaustion and possibly a rollover in soybeans. And I promise I will be much less caffeinated on Monday. All right, what else do we have? I'm still long NAS. I'm still long Nikkei. You know, these are daily time frame trades. You know, I'm not jumping in and out of these things. They're both well within a profitable level. So for those of you that are saying, well, I don't know that I want to take these into the weekend. I don't know that I want to take them into the 4th of July holiday. The volume's going to be affected. I get it. You can actually hit the eject button on any of these, take your ball and go home with profit. That's it, you know? If you're done playing the game, take your ball and go home, gang. That is always an alternative. Now know that if you do that, if the market continues on without you, there's not necessarily any guarantee that you're going to be able to get back in at the price that you entered at to begin with, but it really isn't about a how much could I make conversation. At this point, you're wondering, well, how comfortable am I going to be taking a trade like this into the weekend? And if that level of discomfort is high, take your profits and call it a day. Okay, it's as simple as that. I said the same thing to traders who were in beans before the crop report. We were up at 3 points, about maybe $175 per contract before the report, and I said, look, if going into the crop report is way too much risk, take your ball and go home, right? Take your 3 points off the table and call it a day if you don't want to tolerate the kind of volatility that that event could bring. All right, so that's it. Oh, one last trade I'm going to share with you guys here. I'm going to dive into all this in greater detail, as well as some of the Forex trades that we've got going on, things like Euro, things like Canadian dollar. I'll cover that in the premium video. I am looking for a buy on EWQ. I took a very small position here at the low. The previous low was 28.64. I grabbed a little bit at 28.65. Now, something you could do alternative to the buy at 28.65 is just grab some EWQ calls. Okay? You can do that as well. All right, gang. So for those of you that are taking a long weekend, enjoy it. Have some fun with your family and friends. If you're going to go ahead and join us on Monday, check out simplerfutures.com/memberships. We'll be in the chat room on Monday. And if not, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great one. I'll talk to you in the next update.